Hey guys, Huck Sportscards here. Hope everybody's doing great today. Well, today's episode is a VR from Mike at Baseball Collectors. Mike also does another channel called Bench Clear Media. And man, you need to check those two out because both those are really great. To be honest with you, Baseball Collectors is my favorite YouTube channel. So I wanted to do this VR. And matter of fact, I wore my Blues jersey today because Mike lives close to Dallas there, and so the Blues are playing Dallas Stars tonight in a preseason game, so that's why I wore my Blues jersey. But he wanted us to do a VR on the hobby pet peeves, so your hobby pet peeves, and that's what I'm going to do today. Well guys, my number one pet peeve is when you go to a card show or even a card shop and they don't have prices on stuff. Sounds like everybody else dislikes that also. I know Mike had mentioned that in his video and some other people had made comments, but that is my number one pet peeve, that when I go to a card show, I don't want to be asking people what the price is on every single card. I want to be able to walk in there, look around, analyze. If I see a card and has a price on it, analyze, like, okay, I'm interested in that or not. I don't want to be like, hey, how much you want for this card, and standing there waiting for somebody to look it up on their phone what the last comps were. You should be able to do that during the week prior. The price isn't going to change that much with vintage cards for sure, and that's what I'm looking for at a card show. But it also happens at card shops, and that's surprising because I was at a card shop. I was following my daughter's team around when she was playing college softball. And usually when we go to different towns and everything, I'll go to a card shop close to there. And I went in this one, and this guy didn't have anything in his cases priced. And so I'm asking him about a Eddie Murray card, a 1978 Eddie Murray card, and so he starts to look that up. And then he gives me a kind of a high price because I was looking for another one because I was trying to finish out another 78 set. It was like my third 78 set I was trying to finish, and I just needed one more card of his to do that. And his price was like really high, and I'm not even sure why he looked up on eBay because I know the prices on eBay weren't that, but I didn't really say anything, so I just moved on. And I never bought anything from his shop because I didn't want to have to keep asking him. So, that's the problem. If you don't price stuff at card shows or your shops, a lot of people aren't going to just keep asking. So, that's my number one pet peeve. All right, guys. Well, my number two pet peeve is cards overpriced. And I don't mean just by a little bit. I mean by a lot. We know that the cards were like outrageous during the pandemic, right? And but that's gone now, and the prices have dropped down. As you can go look at comps on eBay and stuff like that, prices are going way down compared to what they were. And but it seems like some of these dealers at card shows, they still want to try to get the prices for what they were selling them for a year ago, and it's not going to happen. And this is a crazy story. It's really funny though. I was at a card show a couple weeks ago, and there was this 1971 Burt Blyleven card, right? And it's about a $5 card, okay? This guy, and this card wasn't graded. This guy had a $100 price tag on it. And so I'm like looking at his table, and everything was like way overpriced. Now this Burt Blyleven 71 card, it's never been $100, ever. But this guy had $100 on it. And so I'm looking at his cards, and like I said, they were way overpriced. At least he had them priced though, right? But and he said, hey, don't mind the prices on them. He said, you can make an offer or whatever like that. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, this Burt Blyleven card, you got $100 on it. It's like a $5 card. And he kind of got mad at me for saying that and everything. But it was the truth, he's trying to sell a card, which he's not going to sell that card for that. Nobody in their right mind would buy that, right? But I just don't understand why somebody would even have that overpriced like that. But that is the problem, that you go to a lot of, that's one of my pet peeves, that you go to a lot of card shows and guys got them overpriced way too much. I mean, like I said, I can understand that you price them a little bit over and everything of where you want to be. Well, I'll give you an example. One of Mike's buddies, JT, me and him were set up at a card show one day, and JT started looking at my cards, and he said, "Hey, one of my buddies would like this Lou Brock PSA 7. Well, I had $100 on it, right? And that was about where it was going, but I was willing to take 80. I knew that in my mind at the time. And matter of fact, his buddy JT offered me 75, and I said, I want 80 out of it, and he ended up giving it to me. So I understand pricing it over a little bit, because that somebody's going to make an offer on it, but going way over is just, crazy. So, but that is one of my pet peeves. My number 2 pet peeve is just pricing stuff way over. All right, guys. Well, my third and last pet peeve is charging too much for shipping. And it's really not so much charging too much for shipping on eBay as it is if you charge that much. Let's say if you charge $5, you better send it in a bubble mailer. If I buy 2 cards from you and you charge me $5 or whatever like that, and don't send it in a envelope, with the 91 cents on there when you just charged me $4 or $5. So that's really my third and last one, but it's kind of a 2-part, because when you do ship it to me, make sure you pack it good to where it's not going to get tore up, because I had a 1972 Topps baseball card. It was a Larry Boa, which wasn't a big deal. It's not an expensive card. I think I paid like $2 and something for it, and then the person just sent it, didn't even put it in a top loader, sent it in an envelope, and unfortunately it got bent. So, and I was just needing that to upgrade one of my other ones, so now I got to look for another one of the cards. So, but that was my number 3, kind of a 2-part to that on the shipping. But guys, I hope you like this. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your guys' videos also on your pet peeves. But guys, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you later.